I'm with Maf Smith, Deputy Chief Executive for RenewableUK. Maf, it's a year since we were at the Excel Centre for the last RenewableUK Offshore show. Where do you think or how do you think the UK offshore sector has moved on since then?
Well, there's a lot happened in a year. I mean, we've had London Array, for example, come through just in the last few months. We've put over a gigawatt of new capacity online. There's a lot now we know in terms of where this government is going with offshore. We're waiting for the industrial strategy. That's going to be really important, and we're looking forward to what Michael Fallon, the Energy Minister, says tomorrow. So hopefully it's going to be a great event. People will be very confident about the sector, want to learn about what happens next.
Last year, I remember Areva announced that they were going to build a factory in the UK, and at that stage Vestas was still planning on Sheerness. Nothing has really happened since then in terms of actual manufacturers committing to assembly facilities in the UK. Do you think that's a problem at all looking ahead?
It's going to be a big theme of the conference. Certainly there's a lot we're doing in terms of some of the sessions discussing about supply chain. We're doing work ourselves. For example, we've got a new program called Grow Offshore, which will be helping work through Regional Growth Fund money to help the supply chain in England. But yes, we need to know what's going to happen with those top tier manufacturers. But right now the problem is we're waiting for the industrial strategy. We're waiting for announcements to the energy bill and the draft delivery plan, which will tell us what the strike price is going to be. So there's a bit of a lack of momentum right now. We're going to talk about that at this conference, but come July, hopefully, when we do get these big announcements, that's when we can really start to see movement.
And in terms of looking ahead, what would you like to see from both the government and the OEMs as well?
Well, government needs to realise that this industry is a long-term industry. So while this government supports low carbon, not just renewables, they need to think about how they signal past 2020 what's going to happen. We have levy control framework to 2020, but what's going to happen after that? We're not going to have a decarbonisation target, but what else can government do? So there's a lot riding on the industrial strategy. Developers, for their part, they need to take seriously the economic benefit that comes from offshore wind, and we all need to be working on how we do that. And the manufacturers also need to realise, that they're going to have to work very closely with the developers and form good long-term relationships, particularly if we're going to secure content, but equally if we're going to drive down costs. And again, those are big themes for this event.
And in terms of offshore, I mean, and with the recent sort of announcements with onshore wind and government intervention from government ministers, do you think that offshore is almost the main show in town for the UK in terms of wind energy?
It's certainly where the gigawatts are coming. The government clearly wants offshore to be a success, but that's one of many renewables. But it has got the message that offshore is the one that can deliver at scale. So we have major round 3 projects now coming forwards. But if developers are going to be able to press the button, make those final investment decisions, they need industry confidence. But events like this are where people can come and find out who's doing what the latest on those projects is, and it's where people can learn about new technologies. So what's happening with the new generation of machines, how ready are they, what's the testing. So the buzz of the conference is going to be about the next year. We've had a gigawatt arrive last year. There's a lot more going to happen in the next 12 months and beyond that.
Great, thank you very much.